In this video, we're going to learn about how to find the volume of compound figures. This is a topic that you're going to cover more thoroughly in 7th grade, but we're going to do a little introduction to it now using the ideas that we do already know. So we remember that a compound shape is something where you have two shapes kind of smushed together. So a compound solid, or I'm calling it a compound figure, which could be either one, is just a 3D version of that. So this house is an example of a compound figure because you can see that you have a triangular prism for the roof, and then you have a rectangular prism for the main part of the house. So this is two prisms pushed together. And we could calculate the total volume by finding the volume of each part and then adding them together. So here's an example of a compound solid. This one is made up of two rectangular prisms pushed together to make this kind of boxy shape. So let's go ahead and find the volume. If you think you know what to do, go ahead and pause and do it now. So the first thing we need to do is break it up into two different shapes. So I'm going to break it up here, and I'll do the first one first so I can see there's two rectangular prisms. And the first one is 6 by 4 by 5. So I'm going to find the area of the base here, which is 6 by 4 gives me 24. And then I'll multiply it by the height of 5, which gives me 120. So that means that this prism is 120 feet cubed. And then I'll do the other one here, that kind of longer, skinnier one. So here, my base is kind of hidden along the back, but I see it as being like that. And now this one's a little bit trickier because this part right here is 7, but this length here would be 7 plus, and then that 4 is this length right there. So that 7 plus 4 would give me 11 feet. So I need to do 11 times 2 to get 22 for my area of the base. And then this whole thing seems to have the same height, so that means that my height is still 5. So that means the area of the blue figure is 110 feet cubed. So then for my total, I just need to add 120 plus 110 to find that my total area, my total volume is 230 feet cubed. I found the area of each part and then added them together. Sorry, I should say I found the volume of each part and then added them together. All right, let's do another example. And this time, let's do something that kind of looks like that house that we had at the beginning. So I started with a rectangular prism on the bottom, and now I'm drawing a triangular prism on top of it, like so. So let's think about what dimensions we need. We need length, width, and height for the rectangle. So that would be 5, 4, and let's say 8. And then for the triangular prism, we need enough to know the area of the triangle. Well, we have the base of that already because it must be the same as on the rectangle, but we do need a height. And I drew that to be 3. And then we don't need to know these slant heights here since we're only doing volume and not surface area. Okay, if you think you can do this, go ahead and pause and do it now. So when I'm doing a compound figure, I like to label what I'm working on. So let's do the rectangular prism along the bottom first. And we know that that's going to need me to find the area of the base of 8 times 5 is 40. And then multiply that by my height of 4 to give me 160. Then let's switch and do the triangular prism roof. Or I could have called it like the house and the roof, I guess. And there, I need to know the area of the base. And this time, the base is going to be this shape, or the same one in the back. And that would be a 5 by 3 rectangle. So I would do 5 times 3 divided by 2, which gives me 7.5. And then I need to multiply that by the height. And now my height is the height of the whole prism, which is 8. So I need to do 7.5 times 8. And that gives me 60. So that means that my total is 160 plus 60, which gives me 220 units cubed. Okay, now it's time for your practice problem. I'd like you to find the volume of this figure. The measurements are in centimeters. Sorry, it's a little bit grainy. We will check this in class together tomorrow.